Good morning, everybody. It is Andrew Cole with East Orlando Chamber of Commerce, and we're here for another Testimonial Tuesday, and we're at Mission Barbecue here on Cimarron Boulevard. And I've got our friends Ashley and Christina here who are with Mission Barbecue, and we're going to talk a little bit about what they're doing. But first and foremost, I do want to say a couple pleasantries here to get us started. This is the East Orlando Chamber of Commerce, and you can find us at EOCC.org. But I also just want to make sure that we're recognizing our sponsors. So going off some notes here, but Certified Best Roofing, we're glad to have them here as our sponsors on things for us today. But they are not just a business on roofs. They have business protecting what matters most with a reputation for quality, integrity, reliability, and they've become a trusted name across Central Florida. So for all your roofing needs, they do even other things, gutter work and everything else. We'll get into some of that with them later today. But they are our sponsors for today. Say thank you. And we also want to say thank you to Mission Barbecue, is where our host location today. And we will be here for our Great Point Adventures come about 12 o'clock. So come join us for Allegiance and then come enjoy some or the national anthem. My bad. That you get me. I'm there. But join us for the national anthem at 12 noon, where we'll salute the flags and then come join us for lunch. So lunch will be on your own, but come join us with other chamber members and enjoy some great barbecue. So welcome.
Thank you for having us. We're so excited to be here.
Well, absolutely. So you guys can jump in. Tell me about Mission Barbecue. What do people not know about Mission Barbecue? What should they know about Mission Barbecue?
So I think the thing that I find when I'm out in the field talking to people the most that they don't know is that we're owned by two people. And nationwide, we have a bunch of different locations, which is also a surprise to most people. We're so large, and that we are such a family. People went into our store, our restaurant, they're taken by stories on their home. It's not normal. Hey, let's just go grab a burger or some brisket. Really come home and walk in. So,
Well, we've been in for a number of different things. You guys are our coffee club hosts for Coffee Club Buena Vista. And with that, it's amazing. And if you can't quite see it here, but you get a little bit of it on the back wall here. But all the photos and memorabilia are from local heroes, local servicemen, local first responders. There's photos, there's patches, I'm looking at a fire helmet and somebody's fire jacket or with that. So this is really cool. So it's a family feel and you support all the first responders, not just military.
correct. So fire and police. We also like to support nurses and doctors when they come in. But definitely our first responders and our veterans.
So tell me a little bit about that. How did that get started? You and I talked about that before, not this morning, but a little earlier. Talk to us about like a little bit of the story behind. You are owned by the two things, but you've grown. This is how many locations?
So we have 50 nationwide. We're by the two same people, best friends, which is great to watch them together. Bill's son is 80. He's in the army. And the army, see, that's why she's here. She can be honest. He's in the army, and they really had to serve us hard to begin with. To us from the clothing line. Steve wants to
Okay.
And Bill kind of taught Steve into opening a restaurant after we retired. Bill retired and he said, I want to start a restaurant. Steve's like, I'm working for a restaurant. Why would I start? And they travel all the country and they tried all these different foods. Like they decided to settle on barbecue because it's so American and so diverse. There's so many different ways that you can get to people.
And it really stemmed from after 9/11 when the world changed forever. So they're like, what can we do? Just one little piece to try to make that, better for people. So, we want to be the first responders to the first responders, someone who really cares about those people.
Speaking about that, have you done things for like if there's been a disaster or something with that to help the first responders and things? That's off the cuff. I know it's not on the script. I'm just kind of going, but
I have a great story about that.
Awesome.
When I started with the restaurant, I did not know the area very well, and I was driving around, and I saw what was obviously a house fire off in the distance, off like a few streets off of Main Road. So I took a picture of it, and I sent it to our community ambassador, Tracy. Said, hey, I don't know where this is, but this is where I am on the road, and there's obviously a fire there somewhere. Maybe you should go find it. And she said, you cool. I'm already there, hanging out drinks and snacks. So here. I was like, okay, never mind. So Tracy is our connection to the community. She's the one who takes care of all of our first responders and the boots on the ground type person. She's incredible. She goes to fires, takes care of the families. We have an officer there. She takes care of our World War II vets. She takes care of all of our veterans. She helps us with our homeless vets. It's just an incredible job.
And I will say one good thing about Mission, every restaurant, 150 of them have a Tracy's. We call them our community ambassador. So what they do is, you know, if they hear any type of fire, we are the first on the scene. We're feeding those firefighters that are, you know, there sometimes 12 hours, 24. However, we were there feeding officers down the funeral. We're reaching out for the family. How can we, you know, get who's healed? We want to, you know, we'll take care of their funeral, all those things of it.
That's really cool.
Which is actually that, unfortunately, firefighters comes from that.
Wow.
His family, his mom, his daughter, police officers, and they come in and they reserve that table and they come and they call Tracy and say, we're going to have lunch with our son today. We don't have those thoughts.
That's really cool. That's, you know, and so it really changes that special feel for the local that's embedded in the community that you're serving. So what are some things that make this location really special to you?
So I joke that you can take a teammate from any location and put them in any one of our locations and the culture is the same. You just have to kind of figure out where things are. But this location to me is definitely my new home. This is my home. The customers that come in here, like, hey, this is oh my gosh, you have to see pictures of my grandchild. And, oh, we had so much fun at the wedding last week. Thank you so much. So it's that it's not just customers, there are family, there are friends, but see them out in Publix and blah blah. Not to brand everybody else, but here we go. It's so nice to see them because it's not like going to a normal restaurant. And I've worked in restaurants most of my life. It's not.
I came from the same kind of co-op in the sense with that. So yeah, it is a different field here. You know, especially just the tributes, things that happen. And so I mentioned it, but let's go into that tradition that you do at 12 o'clock and talk a little bit about that, where that stemmed from.
So it's our national anthem that we do every day at noon. We do close down, like giving safety orders on the phone. Actually, I'm the catering manager, so when I'm not about and on site, so I have a lot of construction gentlemen and women that like me to play the national anthem that will a lot at the event. So we will stop service, we will bring out our speakers and do the national anthem. And it's just a way to honor the country, remind everybody that we make a lot of sacrifices for what we have. So I think that's important.
And if we ask for a calendar, his simple answer to that is because we can. And it's
Love it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's, you know, if it's something you can just come in 2 minutes later, you know.
Yeah. No, you know, it was really moving because we were here. I think we were just in kind of doing a site visit, just kind of getting to know you a little bit, and it was really kind of cool because 12 o'clock came, and there were so many servicemen, and you also do some things like out in the with the armed forces,
Right.
and I hope you. Anyway, I'm gonna stall here for a minute because something's being delivered. So hold on here while we're here. We're gonna talk about while it's there. We're gonna get your arm reach in here. But while we're here, let's talk about what just came to the table. So we're gonna lift it up here so you can kind of see what's here. So tell us what we've got.
So we have our dry rub oak smoked brisket, our Maggie's mac and cheese with 5% cheese, and our favorite bread, which is my absolute favorite.
And so is cornbread just a traditional cornbread, or is it a spicy one? Or
No, it's actually a sweeter one. It's almost like it's they know when I'm going home because I wrap it up. I'm like, okay, I'm out of here.
And then the mac and cheese, you were telling me about that when we first met. So it's 5 different cheeses. So we've got 5 different cheeses in a mac and cheese. And then if it's anything special or unique or different that you do with the barbecue here at Mission Barbecue.
So we have no freezers or microwaves. We smoke 24 hours a day. Everything is fresh made from inside on restaurant here.
Smoked here. There are big smokers right on the back line there.
We actually have 3 of them. We have an open kitchen, so you can see what we're doing. Of course, we want to. This is behind the scenes, but out in the public, we do have all of our food being broken down. See it, we cut and serve. We do that on site as well. We cut for on site. But the really cool thing about our Magnus mac and cheese is it's actually made for one of the founder's daughters. And
She approved.
Yep.
So
took
yeah,
a long time to
I
get
can't
that
remember
approval.
the amount of recipes she went through, but this one was finally.
amount of
so-
cheese
Yes.
with that. And so you've got brisket here. Do you have different cuts of brisket that you can do for folks, or is it just one cut that you guys serve?
I prefer the Carver's choice, or the Texas cut, which has the lean and choice, but you can actually ask us for the lean. Which has a bit less
Yeah.
marbling in there. Listen, you were a restaurant guy.
I know.
Marbling.
I just call it what it is. It's delicious.
It's wonderful. Or you can do the moist, which does have that moist. So it's amazing lunch, it's amazing sandwich.
Now, this is a platter that you can order. So this is, because you have sandwiches, you've got platters, you have, I know you have catering.
Yeah,
So,
lots of
so
catering.
we're gonna talk about some of that. I'm gonna put this down because I'm like sitting here right on my nose. So I'm gonna be munching before we get too far. But, so you can get a brisket sandwich, and is that chopped up? Is it sliced like this? How is that?
So this is our sliced brisket. We do have chopped brisket. It is our only sauce meat. It's our greasy classic and our smoky
Is
mouse.
that what this one is?
That one is Texas Wang. It's
Texas
actually
Wang.
designed for our brisket. So
Okay.
it's more like a smokehouse
Okay.
barbecue sauce. Has the A1, 7 Worcestershire, our spices mixed together.
You've got a whole basket full. I'm not, I'm
Yes.
afraid to even reach over to grab them. But you've got like
10 different sauces
10 sauces.
that we make in-house and you can buy to take home. And you
Nice.
can buy our rest to take home too.
And those are all homemade as well, so.
Everything done here in the
everything
store.
is home-
Very cool. One of my favorites, you have a vinegar
Mhm.
sauce, which I'm gonna knock something over if I go reach for it. So I'm not gonna do that, but that's made here too.
Mhm.
And that's just, I don't know, I could put it on like every, I mean, it's just, and you don't see that. Usually that's maybe what they mop when they're smoking things or when
Right.
you're barbecuing. But no, you can put that on your meat, your sides.
So for me, it's the Georgia mustard.
The Georgia.
And I'm not a mustard girl. And I love our Georgia mustard. I have a bottle of it all at all times.
What's your favorite?
My favorite sauce is Tupelo honey heat, sweet and heat.
Sweet and heat.
And if
Just
I'm
what she
doing
is, right?
any catering event, that's what I'm handing
You
people.
got it. You got it. So let's talk about catering here. What kind of opportunity do you have for catering? How does that work? Order by person? Do I order by meats?
Yeah.
How does that work?
All of that. So the easiest way is to do by person. And then we have a 2-meat with the 2-side option, have the 3-meat 3-side option, and then we can always mix and match and make it work, whatever we need. We also do all part. A lot of my deliveries, especially right now, with the celebrations that are going on for the 4th of July. There's a lot of olive part deliveries right now. Just the chips they're supposed to get both pork and whole chicken because they don't want to put the meat.
They want their potato salad. They want their sides, but I'm not smoking a brisket.
Yeah.
There you go. I want Sarah's cornbread,
Yeah.
whatever. So, the easiest thing for me is when they call up, what are you doing? What is your event? If you're eating there, we'll serve it. So,
And I love the scale that Mission Barbecue can do. We can do anywhere from 10 to 5,000. I mean, there's really no limit. The fact that we just have so many restaurants and we are, you say, one mission.
Right.
We're not, franchise. So we're able to pull together to execute these huge events like air shows or big Amazon orders, anything like that.
Is that something where the huge truck parked out front? Is that used at that, or is that just there for
Yes.
decoration?
at air shows, he's used. So his name is Bam Bam. And he's our big and mobile barbecue assault machine. And Ashley's actually our regional catering director, so she's the one who calls the other restaurants and says, hey, listen, I have this event. So my team has been able to travel to Jacksonville, we've gone to Ocala, we've gone to Tampa, we've gone out to Port St. Lucie, and it's always fun to go and see how other people do it.
Yeah.
And
Meet other team members.
right, yeah.
Wow. And then something you told me about is if I have this right, every location has their master. Is that correct?
They,
And explain that.
yes, okay, so every location has
Right.
kitchen server front leader is what we call them. And it's somebody who kind of so you can make it big. So every restaurant has a special restaurants that are designations as somebody who's gone through a lot of training.
Yes.
And here we have the crack engineer, they all have their own call sign. That because he's doing so many things at once, but he's so calm.
Nice.
It's amazing.
And so you do have one here.
I do have one.
So for restaurants that don't have they're still trained in how to do it. Like yours is a true certified, bona fide pitmaster. You're getting the best of the best right here with them there, following the recipes to spec and get the best right there from somewhere. So that's pretty cool.
And it's something for them to work towards when they're hired. You know, we're hiring needs this, but you have this, you know, the pit master to work towards.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So
So
nice.
there's the growth there.
So they can come in and learn and it's that level of expertise on the barbecue field, because you hear that all the time. So you talked about like community engagement and connecting, working with folks and doing catering with that. So let's talk about East Orlando Chamber for a minute.
Okay.
You know, you guys kind of came on and jumped all in, and so talk about the partnership with East Orlando Chamber and what do you like so much about that? What's been the gravitation for that?
So I love the people I've met so far. I met another chamber member. I met Jesus and I was able to serve his hire and how to prepare women's complex where he actually brings women in, he teaches them how to work on cars and be connected with something like that. To go to the coffee clubs and meet people in different fields. It's not necessarily to say, hey, buy from me. It's hey, what do you do and how can I serve you? And how can you serve me and making those connections? Meeting Orlando Bank and the Osceola. All these new people. I love meeting people. So
It makes the day go by.
it really does. More people when I'm out and about.
No, we appreciate the partnership and, you know, being able to do this and showcase what you have here and to do a shameless chamber plug, you know, I'm gonna twist our arm here, because we do have our business expo coming up in August, which is
Okay.
right down the street where, if we twist our arm enough, they'll probably bring some samples of something because there is plenty of food and beverage that whole evening and networking and meeting businesses and see what they're able. 170 of them are planned for this year, so it's going to be an exciting time this year. But been looking forward to seeing what they bring out.
So,
If everybody eats it all, they can run back and get more.
well, that's true. We're going to be bringing out our Smoky Mountain meatballs, which is something we cannot get in our restaurant. We have a whole black time menu with appetizers and desserts that are not available here in the restaurant.
All right. So if that's not your ticket to want to get to Business Expo to try, what are they called again?
Smoky Mountain meatballs.
A Smoky Mountain meatball, not like a Rocky Mountain oyster, but we're talking a Smoky Mountain meatball. With those, you can only get that at Business Expo unless if you go to the secret special catering menu and ordering for up to 5,000 on
Right.
it. So just a heads up, that's a little shameless plug there.
Yeah.
Come on out and see Mission Barbecue, get something a little special. But you have some neat things on the menu that I've never seen. And one of my, you know where I'm going. I was intrigued when I first came in and I'm staring at the menu and she's like, oh, you gotta try this, you gotta do this. And I'm like, what is a smoked cheeseburger? That was my question.
Yep.
And we were talking and we're going back and forth and I just kept staring at the sign on the board.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit how that came to fruition and then, you know, it was like a special menu and then all of a sudden it became a staple.
Right. So we have something called a Black Plate Special that changes every 4 to 5 weeks. Our sweets and our seasonal sides change every 4 to 5 weeks with our Black Plate Special. And it was a Black Plate Special that was so loved. So many people called and asked for it. We got our menu. And it's very popular in this restaurant.
I will second that,
Yep.
that notion there.
Literally every time I see Andrew, it's like, do you have one?
You have one? Yeah. So last time we were here, they weren't ready yet, and we had an early meeting, but lunch wasn't quite done. They had them in, they were working on them. I will tell you, I never had one before, and until then, and I was thinking, okay, dry it out. No, it was like the most juicy, tender. The cheese, it didn't need anything. It was just so
But if
good.
you do put anything on it, do the Georgia mustard.
And the Georgia mustard. Yes, it was just something that's off the chain. You knew where I was going with that.
Yep.
That's a personal Andrew certified favorite. Like I said, and I'm picky on burgers, so so that's one there. So what is your favorite item on the menu?
So, I knew that question was gonna come to me. I'm so passionate about our food. I love everything, but one thing I really do gravitate to is our smoked turkey. So I do our smoked turkey a lot. Not your average, Thanksgiving type of turkey. It is completely different. It's moist, juicy. I love it.
You get a lot of orders for Thanksgiving on it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm shocked that you said that because I would have said favorite was the red velvet cake.
Oh.
That is
We didn't even
true.
get into desserts yet. Hold on.
That is true.
And they have is it an apple cobbler that we
Yes,
had
that's
the
my
other
favorite,
day?
yep.
Oh, I was talking to him earlier. I had given up sugar and now I'm very selective. That's one that is on the selected menu
Yep.
that I will cheat a little bit to have some of that. It is just really good. But going into that, let's talk about some desserts. What other sweet treats do you guys carry?
So we have a banana pudding, which is amazing. It also used to be one of those seasonal sweets, but it was so popular in our restaurant that it's now on the menu full time. We have blueberry cobbler, strawberry shortcake, which is coming out next week, starting next Saturday. This Saturday.
Get that.
So we'll have strawberry shortcake, so it's so good. Peach cobbler, lemon pie.
Caramel bread pudding
Oh,
has
yeah.
to be one of my favorites. If you like the apple cobbler, the caramel bread is so good. To have that homemade caramel syrup that's on top.
Yeah, that was like the kicker on top
Yeah.
of that. The
Just take the bottle and drink it.
I
It's fine.
know.
Yeah.
It was good.
It's not about sugar. But yeah, we have a ton of different desserts that are not available in the restaurant all the time, but are, again, always available for people.
So, do different restaurants have different special items, or are they all the same across the board?
All the same across the board. The only difference would just be the banana pudding here in the Florida states have that full time and everyone else. But right now everyone does because it's our
Yeah,
seasonal.
this is-
All 150 cents or restaurants have the same.
Okay, so if something is
Yep.
real popular here, well, you might just have to wait till next time it comes on rotation. Even though, so just didn't know if there was a regionalized market for things like the banana. So that makes good sense there.
Well, I do know, like our police department would call out the chill order 3 or 4 quarts as our peach cobbler, that's their favorite. And just the peach cobbler. I just want to order the peach cobbler, we'll be back to get up, and I'm always like,
3
oh,
or 4 quarts. I'm just like, I just need a little one.
That's for several people.
Well,
It's not
I
just
got
for-
it, I got it,
I
yeah.
need the 3 or 4 quarts, but still order it, we'll bring it to the director's office, so take care of it.
So we talked desserts, talked food. We've got 2 interesting cups here.
Yes, our American.
And I want to kind of talk about them. This is soon to be.
Yep.
And this,
Is
I
our-
grab that one, Ashley, and we can let's talk about your cups. What are these about? I'm gonna hold them up because I think we're a little low.
So,
Okay, so talk about this one first.
okay, so this is our Global War on Terrorism memorial. And it's supporting a memorial that's been placed by the terror to honor these first responders and veterans who have given themselves to us. So,
Something that's really cool. I've actually been to the site where they're going to be building the memorial. And
Where is that?
that's
Which
by
on
the-
spot?
by the Big Bend, is it the Lincoln, right by the.
In Washington DC.
Yep.
We'll
in-
leave it.
in
We'll leave it
DC.
generic.
there you go.
But just knowing that, you worked for a company that is the biggest sponsor for that. So, down the line, when you take your kids there, you could tell them, hey, like, we help sponsor and build this.
So what does this do? If I purchase a cup, or do I purchase a cup? Is this just what I get with a large drink? How
So
does this
if
work?
you purchase a cup, $3 if it goes to the charity of your choice that we're sponsoring at the time. And then every time you bring it back, you get $1. That's how it-
I'll watch your combo. Nice.
Yep.
So now we've got this one. It's coming up.
So this one supports our local fire departments.
Okay.
And that is, then the check is presented in store to the local fire department that's going to get it. This one helps pay for those funerals, it helps pay for, things that they come to us for.
Goes to their fund that works on that. So you're supporting local. Do you know which department is it, or is it across the board here? Is for each location, or is that as a regional?
So as a location,
Okay.
we have it. I believe ours and this, because I don't know. But I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it's part of it's done the fund.
Very cool.
Yeah, so our other local restaurants will have their own cup sales that they give a check to their.
So if they're in a different city or a different county,
Yep.
They can support those that work with that.
And then we've got like this for police officers, we have white technical ones, America, which is a really cool one to be a part of because we actually go out as teammates and lay duties on the local cemetery.
Now, are these seasonal, or can you go and request one that you want?
They
or
are
not separate?
seasonal. So this one will be printed on Thursday and then the red one will start on Saturday. So you're closed.
So,
We've raised over $20 million.
wow,
nationwide.
nationwide,
Mhm.
that's really cool. So they're collectible in a sense, but even if it expires, I can bring this in, like if I bought this one and it's 7 years down the road and I've got 15 of these on my cupboard and I remember to bring them.
Yep.
You can use that to get $1 off.
So we have people that keep them somewhere in our car with them in it. So they always have it up with them at all times. It's the funniest thing.
Right?
It's brilliant. That we never forget it.
I would be forgetting them if I didn't have them with me. So
I
right
think
with you
that's-
on there.
That's my favorite answer when people come in, well, I have 15 at home, but I think I'm gonna buy
I
another.
have to get another one and collect them, and then you can display them on there. How long have you been doing that campaign?
Since we opened.
Wow.
Yep, since
So
we
somebody that was a
Yeah.
diehard fan and supporter.
and they just knew that, we needed a give back factor when they opened Mission Barbecue. So 100% proceeds go to whatever the cup sales go to.
So with a few more minutes left here, let's tell everybody where you are, how they can contact you. Let's invite them back to Great Lunch Adventures this afternoon. And we'll start to circle things out.
Okay, so we're located on Cimarron Boulevard, by the airport, at 6324 South Cimarron Boulevard. Taking notes. The easiest way to contact me is through phone number, which is 407-698-5525. Or you can always email me at catering32822@mission-barbecue.com.
And can you do ordering online through the website or
Yes,
through
there is
the
on-
catering part?
So you can do online ordering, or if you want to have any yourself or just order a small amount, you can do that for there. If you're doing anything more than 10 people, I always suggest you call.
Okay.
It's easier for you.
And we're here for the second Thursday of the month for our coffee club. Third, geez, am I having more coffee? Third Thursday of the month, here from 8:30 to 9:30. They are our host on that. And then I just have a few other pleasantries to wrap us out. So if you can bear with me, we do have a couple events that we have coming up that I need to make you aware of. On Wednesday, that is tomorrow, it is our Next Level Real Estate and Trades Network presented by the Chamber and also our skyscraper sponsor, Trustco Bank. And that will be at Rock and Brews just across Catty Corner, across the way here in the Promenade, Lee Vista Promenade shopping center there. Come on out for great referrals, meeting folks. That will be tomorrow from 5 to 7. Come on out and check the referral wall. That's kind of a fun thing that we've added to that. So we'd love to see you there over at Rock and Brews. Remember that our economic interchange breakfast will be July 16th, 8 o'clock over at Bonefish Grill in Lake Underhill. That is, we are featuring Roger Kalan, Program Director for Central Florida International Trade Office. He will be talking about the tariffs and taxes and things that are potentially happening, but there's a lot of news changing on that day by day. So there's a lot of things there. So he'll break down what the current trade landscape is, and then what we may have in process or not in process, depending on how that is all working out. So register now at EOCC.org. And then to secure your spot, we talked about Business Expo, which will be August 21st over at the Doubletree from 5 to 8. With 600 plus attendees, we know have come through with 170 businesses there to showcase. It's a great opportunity with that. If you are a gold level member or higher, that is a complimentary table included in that membership. So we'd love to have you out. And if you're not having a table, come out and enjoy us. Enjoy some of the special meatballs that are coming out there. And then the last thing I need to do is I need to do one more thank you to our sponsor, which is Certified Best Roofing. And if I can find my notes here, I've got a little tab here to read. Florida weather is no joke, and Certified Best Roofing understands the stress storm season brings. That's why we've built a reputation as one of the most reliable storm repair experts in the region, responding quickly and throughout your with all your safety in mind. So we want to say thank you to Certified Roofing. We want to say thank you to Mission Barbecue for having us here today. Come out and join us about 12 o'clock. Come in and do the national anthem. And then come enjoy lunch and come join other chamber members and support another chamber member. So I say thank you very much for hosting us today and going through the ringers. So thank you much. And we look forward to seeing you real soon. We'll be back in about another 30 minutes.